Hello again, everyone. This is WinsGamer, and today I feel like showing you some software that I find is quite interesting. More of a, I could say, enthusiast, or I don't know, for lack of a better term, someone who likes to screw around with the computer and see what kind of performance they can get. Today I'm going to show you some RamDisk software made by DataRam, and what this does, it allows you to allocate some sectors of your RAM to perform like actual hard disk drive within your computer. So that you can install a program to it, move files to it, and in turn, you're able to access that program, game, file, etc., whatever you want, much faster than you normally would if it's on a solid state or a hard disk drive. And I did some benchmarks on it, and I feel like showing it to you, and maybe show you some real-world use of actually running ARMA 3, comparing to a hard disk installation to a RAM disk installation, and how to also set it up so that Steam sees that it's still stored on your hard disk, but you're actually running it from a RAM disk. Now keep in mind, my motherboard is not very recent, and I have seen some actual other motherboards and RAM perform much faster than mine do, but this is just kind of like just a couple samples that you would get when running a speed test on them. So this one I'll show you here is my results I got from an NTFS configuration. As you can see, I got about just over 3.5 gigs a second and just under 3.5 gigs read a second, and the 4K to 64 access time. As you can see, the read is massive compared to the write. And I'll show you the FAT32, and the difference is very minuscule. I'll get this set up here for you. As you can see, the FAT32 had a much slower sequential read and write, but the 4K was a little bit faster, and the 4K to 64 was also a little bit faster at both ends. So very slightly different. And when I ran the timing test when booting ARMA 2 on a FAT32 configuration and an NTF configuration, the timing was exactly the same, basically. Very, very, very slightly a difference. I mean, we're talking about a tenth of a second. All right, I'll go ahead and show you some real-world example here with ARMA 3, one of the slower loading programs I have in my collection here. So this is running off of a hard drive, and I'll show you here. As you can see, under my D directory, which is my standard Steam installation. So go ahead and launch it. I'll start the timing, obviously, right away. All right. Program is just starting up. All right, got the copyright. There we go. I got about 56 seconds on that. Go ahead and exit. All right, let's go ahead and move it to a RAM disk here. So what we'll do is ARMA 3 is just over 10 gigs. So I'm dedicating just for, I don't know, I just prefer to keep an even number, 11 gigs here. We'll start the disk up. All right, started. And as you can see, I'm now using 14.7 gigabytes of my RAM. And it shows up on the resource monitor as, get it over here, memory. It just shows up as being standard in use. Okay. So let's go ahead and move this over to RAM disk. And we just started it. So as you can see here, it shows up under device manager, well, computer management, not device manager. So what we'll do is we'll initialize it. We'll keep it as an MBR. No reason to do a GPT. All right, now we will do a new simple volume. I'll put it under the W. No, let's do R for RAM disk. NTFS. Call it ARMA 3. All right, there it is. And there's the RAM disk. So what we'll do, go ahead and close this. We'll minimize that. We'll take ARMA 3 out of there, put it in the RAM disk. We're getting about 200 some megabytes read a second. And also my hard drives that I installed ARMA 3 to, and all my Steam games are on a 2 terabyte drives in a RAID 0, so that's something to take into factor of the boot time, I guess you would say, of the game. And like I said, my chipset's not the fastest when it comes to actual bandwidth per bus. All right, come on. All right, all done. All right, so now what we're going to do is launch command prompt, and we're going to mklink it to the RAM disk. So Steam still sees it. That way Steam will see it still installed in my D drive, but in fact, it's actually stored on my R drive. We're going to do it as a junction, so mklink. And make sure you run command prompt as administrator. /J. Okay, now we're going to do where ARMA 3 is was installed to. So we'll copy that, paste it here, ARMA 3, unquote, new quote, R/ARMA 3. And when this finishes, you will see it pop up here as a link. Let's go ahead and do that. Created, and there it is. So this is just a symbolic link pointing any application that is trying to access something in an ARMA 3 folder that actually it's stored in the R drive. So we'll open this up, and it shows as being stored in the D drive, but in fact, all these are just symbolic links to this directory. So kind of a neat little tool you can use to fool applications to where something might be stored, but in reality it's stored somewhere else. Like let's say you're running out of space under My Documents, so you create a symbolic link that those My Documents are actually over wherever you want to put them. All right, we'll launch ARMA 3 now. So we'll hit play, and as you can see, it loads. And we've already started the timer on this and see how much faster it loads up now. Yes, kitty. Crazy cat. And as you can see, it's already going much faster. And there it is. I just got under 33 seconds. So about 20 seconds faster, give or take. So it's a nice little tool to fiddle around with, and it's not really practical, but for those who just like to, I don't know, screw around with certain applications on the computer and try to increase that loading time to as fast as possible, and not really worried about losing data or remembering to back up whatever was on the RAM disk. It's a fun tool to screw around with. So yeah, that's it. That's really all I wanted to show you on RAM disk. So thanks for watching, and have yourself a good day.